Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In this lesson, we will be talking about how to list the element of a set. From the previous lesson, you will notice that when we talked about the add method in set, what the add method does that it was able to show us the number of values available in a set, but not the element of that set. So in situations where you need to list the elements of a set, how do you actually do it? And that is the purpose of this lesson. That is what we are going to be examining in this lesson, how you can actually list the elements of a set. And the way we are going to do it, you will realize that it has a similar way to things that we have talked about when working with arrays. Because in working with set, you are going to be using iteration, and you are going to be using loop method as well in order to list the element of your set. So let's dive in. Listing the elements. You can list all set element values with a for of loop. So you are going to be using a special kind of loop, which is a for of loop, whenever you want to list the element of your set. And if you look at the example on the screen here, you can see this is a set defined by the new set constructor, and it passed in the element of the set. And then this is an example of how the for of loops work. So this is the for and this is the of part. It takes in a value and then it gives you an output. And once you do this, you will definitely get all the elements that belongs in your set. So let's take a look at that example in my code editor. So what we are working with is listing JavaScript set, listing element of a set, listing element of a set, JavaScript. And I want to change this part as well. Okay. You can list all set elements. Elements can also be referred to as value with a for of loop. So this is what you do when you want to list element of a set. So you can do that with a for of loop, a special kind of loop in JavaScript. You remember that we worked about it in worked with it when working with array, the for of loop. So you use the same similar method to output the element of your set in JavaScript. So I'm going to make a new set and let me call it letters. Then the new set constructor, which is this. Now I have my set. Now I want to list the elements. List element of my sets. This is actually a comment. So now that I have my set, then where I want the result of the set, I want to make an empty string because this is where I want to get the element of the set, const. So this can be anything. So it could be Y, it could be J, it could be A, any letters of my set. And that set is letters, which is this. So my set is this. This is what I'm passing here. And this is just a way of iterating over what I already have here. So the output of what I want to get, I just say let text, which is this variable I have here, plus equals X, which is the value that I expect from the iteration, and then break. So if you look at this, and outside of this, I can come and make my document.get element by id demo1 and text. So if you take a look at the screen, you can see A, B, C. So this is the result of my set. So if I have multiple elements inside this set, that is how everything will continue to just show on the screen. So if I add here, you can see it. So this is how you list element of a set in JavaScript using the for of loop. you cannot actually list the elements using the add method, which we described in the previous lesson. That only shows you values that are available or present in your set. But when you need to list each of the elements of the set, you use a for of loop, just as the way I demonstrated right here on the screen. So moving away from this, if you look at what we've been talking about, you know that there was a particular time we specified and talked about the data types available in JavaScript. Now, set is an aspect of JavaScript that belongs to the object data type. So sets are objects. If you look at the way we've been declaring it, you can see it that what you can it looks like in a bracket, then you passed in all these elements that you want into the new set constructor, and that makes a set. So set by default, they are objects in JavaScript. And how do you know that they are objects? When you use this method of type of, it definitely returns that the set that you are working with is an object. And what do I mean by that? So if I want to find out if this set is an object, so it's very simple. I can just say text. Okay, so you can use this method, return type of object. So I'll just pass in the method here, type of text. Now, so this returns object, but right now, what can you see? You are seeing a string, which is this, which is actually correct because I'm passing the string here instead of the set. So the set is letters, not text. So type of letters. Now you can see that it's an object. So when you use the type of method, it tells you whether it tells you the kind of data type that your set belongs to, and you can see that it's an object. So the type of returns object, and also the instance of set returns true if your set is actually an object. So if I pass this in now and do it like this and say this is my set, letters instance of set. So this should give me true, as you can see right here. So, and if you look at this with what we have here, instance of set returns true. So, which means that this actually is an object. Don't forget that here is a capital S. If I put a small letter S, it will not work because the set is denoted by capital S. I know some of you might be confused because of the fact that in JavaScript, the common convention is camel case, where you capitalize the first letter and then every other subsequent letter of the words that follows it will be capitalized, but that is not the case with set. So the initial letter of set is capital S and not small letter. So this is how you list element of a set, and this is how you get to know that your set is an object in JavaScript. In the next lesson, I'll see you.